What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Undergrad Forum. Now in this video, we're going to talk about something a little different than we normally do, and that's eating right during the clinical years. So during the first 2 years of medical school, you probably had a very regimented schedule. You probably hopefully had good habits. You got up, you went to morning lecture, you came home, you had lunch, you went to the gym, you studied all day, you went to bed early, you woke up with a good amount of sleep, all this perfect stuff, right? And you hopefully stayed in good shape. The problem becomes during your third and fourth year is that your schedule kind of gets turned around. Every month or every month and a half or two, you're on a different rotation. Every rotation's different. If you're on inpatient medicine, that's very different than being on outpatient P's, which is very different than being on inpatient surgery. So you have a variable schedule, all with different lifestyles, all with different, kind of habits that you need to have. So the question becomes, how do I eat right during the clinical years? And I wouldn't play this off like, dude, this is a silly topic. Why would you talk about it? This is your health. How you eat affects your mood. How you eat affects how you feel and how you study and how you learn. It's important to care about it. And take it from me, I gained a bit of weight during my third year, and then I had to lose it during my fourth. Not too much fun. It's just part of life. Weight changes and you have to keep up with your habits. So I'm saying this from the perspective of, I learned the hard way. I'm trying to share it with you guys so you don't have to make my mistakes. So during third year, I lived with one of my really good friends. He was my roommate, and we were just both in third year, and we kind of ate whatever we wanted, or really whatever we could get our hands on. What we did not do well was prepare our foods, and I think that's the key. If you prepare your foods, if you control your food intake, you always know what's going into your body, you won't be making errors. But if you don't prepare your food, or if you don't plan ahead for it, you're going to be hungry and you're just going to go for whatever's around. And 9 times out of 10 in a clinical or hospital setting, it's usually unhealthy. It's ironic that hospitals have such unhealthy food, but I've been to, I think I've rotated around 5 to 6 hospitals or different places now. All of them have had healthy food options, but they just usually don't taste all that great, and there's a plethora of unhealthy, much more yummy tasting foods. And I think that goes with the basic concept of, if you're selling food, you want people to like it so they buy it. And food tastes really good when it's high in fat and high in salt. So bad stuff tastes good, people want to sell it, they give you unhealthy things. What are you going to do? So let's take the example here of preparing your food during third year clinic, and then also pre-planning your food if you don't have time to prepare it, so you know what you're eating. The best thing, of course, you could do is prepare your food and take it to the rotations with you every day and eat that and be super healthy, right? That's what you want to do. And I think, honestly, let's talk about a schedule about how you could do that. The best way to do that is not to get up every day and pack your food. You could, but the thing you can do to help yourself is, even if you're on a inpatient rotation where you work 6 days a week, you still have 1 day off. Or if you're on an outpatient rotation, you usually only work 5 days a week and you have 2 days off. Whatever your day off is, that's kind of your catch-up day. You're doing laundry, you're grocery shopping, you're doing a lot more studying, you're really using that 1 day to your advantage. And what you can do on that 1 day is do what's called food prep. That's used in the bodybuilding, high-end athletic world, where people who are very serious about their physique and their weight and their bodies, they food prep for like 1 day on, say on your day off is like a Sunday. You spend that day cooking and preparing multiple meals for the entire week. And the beauty of doing that is, you in one sitting spend 1 moment of time preparing a bunch of food, so you save time for the duration of the week, because in one time you're cooking a bunch of food, you're getting everything dirty, you're there in the kitchen, so the rest of the week you don't have to. Imagine it like this: if you're chopping vegetables and then running to the grocery store and buying more and coming back every time, that's much more time costly than going to the grocery store once, buying a bunch of stuff and chopping them all up at once. It's much more time efficient. So food prep on your 1 day off is really the key. And, obviously prep healthy foods. That kind of goes without saying. Use the recipes that you want. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos. That's how I get a lot of my recipes even. Get online, find recipes that you like. Make sure you're eating high protein. Make sure you're eating moderate fat. Don't go crazy on the carbs. If you can, avoid energy drinks. I mean, I don't drink any. I think the last energy drink I had was in college. I had none in my medical training so far. Just stick with simple coffee in the morning. Don't drink coffee too late. Eat healthy. You'll be fine. So food prep throughout the week on that one day, and then packaging a bunch of food, like make a bunch of chicken, a bunch of vegetables, some brown rice, and whatever else you want, and then put those in like different leftover containers and put them in the fridge. So then every day when you leave for a rotation in the morning, you can just pull that out, put it like in a bag, take some water with you, and take like some fruit or whatever, and then you're good to go. So that makes your morning routine that much easier. The whole purpose behind this is food prep makes the barrier of getting things done easier. You work hard for one day when you're already in like a cooking, non-rush, non-study mode, and then every other day we have to get up early, go to the hospital, you just grab your food and you roll because you don't have to think about it. And then when it comes to lunchtime, you know, people are hungry and you'll look around, people who didn't plan like you, they're going to be hitting the burgers and the pizza and those deep fried whatevers. Not good stuff to eat, right? But you'll have already planned it because it's a Wednesday and you're like, you know what, I made this on Sunday, good to go. Eating healthy, you eat healthy, you're more efficient throughout the day and you feel better and you'll be in better shape, so never hurts. So that's the pre-planning idea that you can do once a week. The other idea, which is well, say you don't want to pre-plan, or you're on a more hectic lifestyle, whatever. You're like, you know what? I can't pre-plan. I can't cook right now. I just need to eat at the hospital. Too bad, right? Or I need to eat like by the clinic. What am I gonna do? Pick one thing or pick a couple things that you know are for sure healthy and go with that. So I remember when I was on one of my critical care sub-Is, life wasn't that easy. I was really trying to like impress. I was working super hard. I was working much harder than I probably needed to, and I didn't have a lot of time for prep, and I got sick for like 2 weeks during that time, but I still went through it. What are you gonna do? During that time, I just made sure that when I was at the hospital, when it came to food, I just hit the salad bar and I ate that every day and I didn't eat too much of it, and that was my lunch. In the beginning it kind of sucked because I was still kind of hungry, but over time, like a week or so, your body gets used to it. You're like, what, it's enough food, you're good to go. So even when you're forced to eat at the hospital or forced to eat, some kind of fast food or something by a clinic, pick something as healthy as you can pick. Traditionally, a sandwich or a salad is the way to go. Stay away from hot food items because they usually saturate those with fat and salt to make them better. And have low-end carbohydrates to usually give you. So pick things that are very basic and more healthy and just stick with those. Don't go for the dessert items. Don't go for the cookies. Don't go for the sodas. All just empty calories or wasteful calories that you don't need. I know that sounds really boring, but look at it this way. If you start eating healthier, and if you already do, you know this, you feel better. You are more energetic. Your brain's a little bit more clear. Towards the end of the day, you're still running strong. You don't have those peaks and troughs of energy for those, people who don't eat well and drink a bunch of like sugar and energy drinks. They're up and down all day and they feel horrible. People who kind of avoid the sugar and avoid crappy food and just stick with coffee in the morning, they kind of ride smooth and efficient throughout the day. I don't know about you, but that sounds a lot more fun than going up and down and feeling like crap all the time. So hopefully this helps. Meal prep or just pick healthy things. Overall, eating healthy will make your training and studying easier. It's much better for you. It just takes a bit of front-loading work, but you'll be fine with it. Hope this video helped, guys. We talked about the importance of eating healthy, pre-planning your food, or if you can't pre-plan and regiment your food, picking healthy things while you're at the hospital and sticking with them as a way to get around it. Let me know if you guys have any questions or recommendations. If you have really cool recipes, drop them down below. I'm sure I'd love to read them, and so would everyone else on the community. If you have any other questions, put them up on the Facebook or on the Twitter. As a group, we can all help answer each other's questions and figure out what needs to be done. We can all help each other. Actually, one last side point before we go. This is like a special thing if you actually, stuck all the way through. There is a big thing to say about pre-planning your food. I didn't do it during third year, and I told you that's how I kind of gained weight. I was eating the pizzas, I was eating the burgers, I was just getting hectic. When you take control of certain parts of your life, Like, you take control of your food, you take control of your time when you're at the hospital, you pick and choose what to eat instead of just going with the group consensus. Those little successes in taking over of control kind of feed into your overall self, like, consciousness and your confidence, and you feel much more capable. So look at it a little bit more than just simply I'm watching what I eat, but I'm taking more control of my life, and that kind of makes your practice and your medical training just a little bit easier. Alright guys, there's a last little tidbit more of a DocOssareh original there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, enjoy your studies.